Hello everyone, thank you for joining me again on another episode of Vegan Police TV. Now this episode, it is going to be a little rant of mine about the language that has been used by the sitting member for the Animal Justice Party in New South Wales, Mark Pearson. Now there is as all politicians do, they like to talk themselves up about everything like this, and we do remember that Mark Pearson is from the Animal Justice Party, so this is an organisation that is allegedly to seek, aiming to seek justice for other animals. So keep that in mind when I talk a bit more about the language that he uses. So if you caught, hopefully the previous episode went up and it wasn't too sunglary and all that sort of stuff. So if you didn't, greyhound racing has just been banned in New South Wales, so legislation went through the upper house and lower house that removed that has made greyhound racing and greyhound training banned in New South Wales from the 1st of July 2017. Now, as always with the case of the Animal Justice Party, they've got a YouTube clip and a transcript of the speech by Mark Pearson where he's giving his second reading to the bill. So obviously he comes out and does his little kerfuffle of this is the Animal Justice Party supports the bill of whatever it was called, and blah 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 blah. And one thing that comes to mind is a story of this, and this is the bit where it gets interesting, because he refers to an instance of footage that he saw that relates to a live possum. I think it was a young possum that was strapped to the mechanical lure to run around the track, so that the greyhounds were going to chase after the possum because that's blooding the greyhounds. So I'm not going to go too much about that because I don't know much about greyhound racing. I'm not just going to say something and pretend that that's gospel and all that sort of stuff. So that was the idea, is that from what I understand of it, is that once the greyhound has the taste of blood and believes that it's more like operant conditioning, that they believe that lure is a live animal, then they're more likely to go run harder after the lure on the track on racing day, because they think, oh, it's a live animal, the lure is a live animal, and so something for the greyhounds to eat. So coming up to it now, this is the thing, is getting into the speech by Mark Pearson. And remember, this is a politician, so his speech would have been drafted for him and written for him by someone. Whether he has approval on the speeches, on the content of the speech, I don't know. If he relies on someone else to write the speech for him, then really I'd be a bit concerned if you voted for him. Now that being said, what really got me about the speech is that he referred to the possum as an it. Instead of saying the possum or she or he or whatever sex that the possum was, or the baby possum or the adult possum, he continually referred to the possum as an it. It wasn't just once or twice that he used it. The reference was made a number of times during the speech. Now, I was going to sit down and count it to count the number of times that he said it. Honestly, listening to Mark Pearson talk is worse than watching paint dry. I tried to do it when I saw it the other day, and just mind couldn't stay focused. Same as reading it. So if someone wants to sit through it and find out how many times he refers to a possum as an it, or how many times he refers to the possum as an it in the transcript, go ahead. Now, what concerns me about that is, I understand everyone does it. This is the language, the speciesist language that we use, that we have in this country. Now, the bit that concerns me is, remember, Mark Pearson is the one. He claims he's been an animal rights activist. Honestly, for I don't know how long. I'd love to say since Noah was a boy. And this is the thing, is that he promotes himself as this, and throws in the odd animal rights. He does this for animal rights, or he's been animal rights activist and compassionate about animals for however long. Yet his language hasn't changed. Look at yours truly, been vegan for 20-something years now, passionate about the animal rights and getting into this sort of stuff. So, let's say 10 years in the time that I've been blogging. I admit, when I first started, I referred to animals as its, because that's something that you're accustomed to doing, because you're accustomed to believing that animals are property and therefore property is an it, rather than, as we are now, is viewing animals as they're sentient beings. Now, normally I'm not going this slow down this road. I'm not sure what the delay is. GPS is telling me there's a big red mark and there's a couple of yellow lines, which means it's heavy traffic. Delay is supposedly less than 5 minutes. Bit of bumper to bumper traffic here. So anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. Fly off on my little tangents that I do. So yes, this is the thing, is that he's got people writing for him. He's supposedly the pinnacle of the animal advocacy movement, because he's been executive director of animal liberation in New South Wales for however many years. He's done this, he's done that. Now he's a sitting politician, allegedly elected on a platform of animal justice. Whereas if you watch one of my previous rants about him, justice for other animals is something that he didn't mention in his maiden speech. Pardon me. So this is the thing, is that for me, and I'll admit, there is a lot of history. I really do not like the organisation. I think the organisation Animal Justice Party is deceptive. I believe that Mark Pearson himself, as part of the organisation, is deceptive. He's not completely honest with what the party can do, what the ability is to do, and they is it lying through omission, because they don't give their supporters all the information, and it's up to, for want of a better term, troublemakers like me to actually try and give the supporters that information. Though because I'm labelled a troublemaker, then that information isn't likely to be listened to, because don't listen to Cameron because he's had a vendetta against us for years and blah 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 blah. If I remember next in one of the future episodes, when I go a bit more into politics, I will explain why I don't believe, why I don't support the political party system. So anyway, so yes, with Mark Pearson, so you'd think that he'd learn to change his language, and this is someone who everyone promotes as vegan and says this and that. Every time he talks to a reporter, he always mentions he's vegetarian. Why would someone, if someone is seeking justice for other animals, why would they continually refer to themselves as vegetarian? Why wouldn't they come out and say, yes, I'm vegan, because this is the easiest way for me to remove, as a non-hypocritical supporter of justice for other animals. So there's just so much with that. It's one of these things, is that there's just so many things that when you start looking at it, and you don't look at the big picture of what they pretend that they're going to be able to do. You just start having a look at all these little things that they do, and that they claim. And and this is the thing, is that supposedly as a vegan, I have to support the Animal Justice Party because they're the only ones, giving a voice to the voiceless. Well, other animals do have a voice. Cats and dogs bark and meow, birds tweet, and all that sort of stuff. So don't say that animals don't have a voice. They do have a voice. The concern is, and the problem is, and the challenge is that we as humans don't listen to the voices. We just think our voice is the only one, because we can speak in language and we have communication skills and all that sort of stuff. We are of the view that other animals don't have a voice, so because they can't communicate with us. It's not the that they do communicate with us. They communicate with us through body language. They communicate with us through different barks and meows and all that sort of stuff. It's just that people don't want to understand it. So anyway, this is my rant with that. Mark Pearson needs to change his language if he's going to be considered as a legitimate advocate for justice for other animals. And this is the thing, is that as I said in the comment, I mean, if my comment is still there, I was probably a little bit harsh with him, though. Hey, he's a politician. He needs to step his game up. He needs to be held accountable for what he says. And when you refer to other animals as an it, you're using the language of the oppressor. You're not using the language of a justice seeker or someone who is out to obtain justice for other animals. So it's like saying, let's say I label myself as a feminist and I'm out to seek, help females get an equal footing in the workplace and all that sort of stuff. So there is a bit of a bingle up. Oh, there's fireys and everything. So that would be why the traffic is going so slow. Can I get in? I don't want to have another accident here because that would be embarrassing. Thank you. So what was I saying? Yes. So, it's a meat wagon. I'm going to do my best not to... it's all packed up now. So hopefully there's no rubberneckers. So what was I saying? About language. That's the language of the oppressor. So if I was someone that was looking to seek justice for females in the workplace and everything like that, is that the cop car ahead, he's turned his lights off and he's moving out of the lane, so looks like the lane is clear now. Just come on, hurry up, lights are green, boot it. It's only a cop car, he's going the other way. So yes, oops, run over kilometres, so there must have been a bit of oil spilt on the road. So what was I saying? Yes, so I'm feminist, seeking rights for females in the workplace. Would it be acceptable for me to turn around and say, listen, refer to a female as, listen, you silly cow, or you dumb, whatever other inappropriate terms that there are. So no, that wouldn't be acceptable, and I would be, would fully expect the community to turn around and say, hey, listen, you can't say that. You're claiming on one hand that you're seeking rights or equal consideration or equal treatment for females, and yet on the other hand your language is completely different. It's just saying, that's fine, we'll give women in the workplace. Nah, they should never have been out of the kitchen in the first place. Well, and this is the thing, why aren't we doing that as the animal advocacy movement? Why do we turn around and it's Mark Pearson, he's for the Animal Justice Party, we have to leave him alone? Well, no we don't. He needs to be held accountable. So anyway, before I get on my soapbox and have a rant, this is the thing. The language that he uses is the language of the oppressor. It's not the language of someone seeking justice for other animals. So that's my rant. I can feel myself getting on my soapbox, so I will have a pause here and say thank you for watching, and hopefully you will join me on the next episode. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and apologies about the sun glare because as you can tell I'm driving, so I turned a bit of a corner there and there's a bit more sun glare. So yes, what I was saying, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, comments, questions and all that sort of stuff below. Thank you for watching. This is another episode of Vegan Police TV. My name's Cameron Blewett, and remember, don't fear the vegan police, we're here to help.